everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of Controllers and Coffee. I know the episode name this week, everybody. Congratulations to me. We are going to be talking about Cyberpunk once again, as always, exclusively. So, sorry for any viewers who haven't been playing the game. This is probably going to involve spoilers, but I'm joined, as always, by Kat Gerritsen. Hello, Kat.
Yo.
What is up?
Oh, you know, still sick, same as last week, but on the mend. Good. And with a lot more Cyberpunk info inside my brain.
Hell yeah.
Nanobots fixing you up. You got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the dream. And we're also joined by Jim Swinglehurst for the second time on the show. Hello, Jim.
That's right.
Thanks for
Hello,
joining us.
straight from the big ball game in Miami. Here to see you guys, and excited to talk about the pre-release game, but it's Cyberpunk.
Yeah. We got some opinions, and we're excited to share them. Jim, you said something interesting to me the other day, so we're just going to get straight into it. You said you're liking it, but for completely not the reason you thought you would. I'd love for you to expound.
Yeah, so that's I did say that to you the other day. That's you're really putting me on the spot right now. But the reason I said that is because I think in my mind, when I saw the trailers, I knew it was going to be an RPG. I knew it was going to be, I knew it was going to feel very like story driven. I didn't expect it to feel exactly like Fallout, which is I think I described it the other day. It's like Fallout, even down to like the way that you move around the world. I think it's also like Borderlands in a way. You know, have you played? I'm guessing you played Borderlands, where you shoot things and fucking numbers fly off them everywhere. Yeah. And it's like, it's not what I expected. I didn't expect that. I actually like that. I actually like the shoot. I like the gunplay, and that's what I'm thinking. I was like, oh, it's not going to be a shooting game, but it actually kind of is, and it does that bit pretty well. Like the shooting and the combat is pretty cool. The blunt, blunt object combat. That's a bit blah blah blah. Really? And the blades feel like you're just hitting stuff with a Nerf sword. But the combat with the guns is like, it's pretty sweet. I feel accurate. Mm-hmm. And I like the I think there's three different types, right, of guns.
Yeah, tech, power, and smart.
Yeah, tech, power, and smart. And I think like they all feel really different, and you can choose which way you want to mod up. And I didn't expect to like that. I just really I think that's what's really fun.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I agree that I really like the combat. I do like the melee combat with a sword. I haven't used the blunt weapon yet.
I like punching. I like my fucking gorilla arms. Like, that feels good. I agree, though, like, hitting with a sword feels like trash.
It just feels like you're whacking it with, like, a tree branch.
Yeah, like, you're not really doing anything. You're just, like, kind of like, bye. Whoa.
It looks cool. Yeah, it's like, whoa, it looks cool. Like, the visual of it is cool. But when you actually, it doesn't feel like you're connecting.
There's no impact, no.
Yeah, there's no impact.
They impact, man.
I like walking around the world like this with my fists up.
I'm gonna get that.
You walk up to like a receptionist and she's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Cause I'm walking around like this."
Nothing.
You gotta get this. But yeah, go.
Cool. No, I like the analogy with Borderlands, like with the combat. Obviously, it's not as combat heavy as something like Borderlands. It's all combat. But I really, I love, like, because I do a lot of sneaking, but then I shit hits the fan like we spoke about last week, Kat, and it's like, well, I guess the guns are coming out now, and then it's just on for young and old, and I love it. It's super fun. I haven't had any smart weapons yet, though, I don't think. Where you
smart weapon is my least favorite. It's my least favorite weapon. I thought I was going to love it as soon as I got it. I got this smart pistol as well called Skippy. And it has like an AI in it that loves Rihanna.
Like the bullet
pop-up
thing, hologram.
It's like bum be dum bum. It's
what? I need to know more about this gun.
Great gun. But I hate the smart firing because like I feel like I'm shooting the dude directly in front of me, but the smart bullet's like, well, and they just miss if you're not like in the right distance. So I'm just like, put this shit away, like fuck off. Yeah. And it does nothing. So I'm like shooting this guy directly in front of me, and I'm not hitting him, and he's hitting me. So I chuck that shit out.
I have a question about the combat to two people that have got more hours in the game than I do. So the best gun by far is the one that you use as Johnny. in the interlude.
Yeah, he's so strong.
Dude.
And like things just like fucking fly away. Like when I played that, I was like, "This is so sick." It felt like fucking Doom or something.
Yeah.
And then you get into the game and you got your pistol. So does it eventually get to the? I guess my question is, do you eventually get weapons that are that sort of caliber, or like is that a one-off gun?
I'm using 3 weapons that I fucking love. So I've got like a pistol, the pistol that we talked about last week, Elliot, that has the 4 shots.
Yeah.
Like the burst shot, and it sets people on fire as well. That is fun to use, and you can like shoot through walls if you charge it up as well. Yeah. So that shit's fun to use. And then I've got just a really accurate assault rifle that's really powerful. And then I have a is it a precision rifle?
Precision rifle, yeah, they're sick. They're my favorite.
Oh yeah,
minty. So good. And I got a really good sniper rifle and a shotgun that I sometimes swap out with the precision depending on. And they do feel a lot punchier now that I'm a higher level, and I have been upgrading them a bit through crafting, but definitely not like Johnny's gun. His gun is
like,
so great.
It does like 3,000-4,000 damage when you blow someone's head off, and their head
it's
just
so
explodes. Fun. Oh, it's incredible.
You shoot their like pinky, and they're like, ah.
Have you got the thing where people die as well, where like everybody that dies, and we're gonna get into this, I'm sure, but everybody that dies just kind of goes like, and then like falls forward, and they're like a V, like they're like laying head down and butt up.
That's why they call you V.
Yeah. Maybe that's a final death knell. They're a V. And they're like, "Oh, you guy was killed by V." Everybody in the game that I kill, even if I punch them, shoot them, that's how they die.
They just fall face first.
My bodies will hit the floor, and then they'll sit up, and then they'll lay down, and then they'll stand up, and they just like they stop.
Wow, that's how you paid $90 for this game, right? Okay, cool.
Dude, and there's a lot of action on the screen at all times.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yep.
So, Jim, I know you have some issues with this game and or CD Projekt Red, as is understandable and fair. I know.
I think,
like we said last week, it sounds like we hate it. We've said a lot of bad things. It sounds like we hate it, but we're still having a good time.
And I guess we wouldn't be talking about it this much if we hated it, right? I think there's a few issues, and I think like a lot of them are lined up with like what everyone's saying. Like there's a lot of like people hating on the company simply because, oh, here's my dog, hi. People are hating on the company for releasing a game that isn't finished, and I think that's fair. I think they've basically admitted that it wasn't really going to be ready till February, but they put it out anyway, which, you know what, they've admitted that's fair. I think the one thing I really dislike about the whole situation is I feel like they've kind of told a little bit of a like, we're the good guys, like we've got your back story. And at the end of the day, I really felt like the decision to release the game, they pushed it back a few times, as we know, but the decision to release the game was completely to keep people like shareholders happy, right? Which they should be respected. They gave you the money, but they talk about like this, you know, we're not going to release this game until it's ready. That's our company philosophy.
When it's ready.
Yeah, it's ready when it's ready. Well, I mean, like they are a really talented development house. They know when a game's ready. They experienced it with The Witcher 3, right? Like the game wasn't ready and they regretted it. So they did heaps of patching, and then 6 months later it was good. With this game, they still did it, and they know how to make a game, they know how to make a good game, and they know the mark of quality, and it's not there. It's really not. Like even us just laughing about the way people are dying right now is the sign that like this game isn't ready. It's a pre-release. It's an open alpha basically, and I think
I'd give it a beta. Like I'd pop it in. The beta.
Okay, you do a nightly build golden beta. So the problem with them is I just think they really want to be the good guys, and like I still have like good friends talking about how like they love CD PR, and like it's all like they are the company, they'll fix it up, but it's like they're not good guys. They're money grabbers a little bit, and I paid $90 and I've hovered over the refund button in Steam. I really did, and it runs well on my PC, but I was like, they don't deserve the money yet. Like, but the reason I didn't refund it, I guess, is another conversation. But I think the problem is the way that they're perceived in the public, and the way that they want to be perceived is like it's degrading rapidly. And I think they need to maybe start talking about, hey, apologies aren't really good enough. It's like what are you going to do? Like, what's the roadmap for the fixing, and how are you going to get these people their money back? And people who are happy with it, good on you, but don't kiss their butts because they're not necessarily the good guys they want to be.
No, I definitely think they deserve. I think the worst bit, the most reprehensible part, was that they refused to allow console reviews or to allow any own footage. You can only use the B-roll in reviews.
That's ridiculous.
And that's just. Why would you do that other than it's shit? Like, that people are going to see something that they don't.
The signs were there. We should have known, right?
Yeah, right. Like,
we all trusted them because it's CDPR. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people gave them a lot of good faith on that because it's like, oh, they've got such a great reputation. Like, they're not going to fuck us. Well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are the corpos.
They are the corpos. They were added in.
It's the most corpo thing they could have done. This is the most Cyberpunk thing they could have done.
This is all part of the story. Oh my god.
It's immersive, guys.
It's really an ARG. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, the funny thing is, like, they have this great reputation, but it's really only thanks to one game. Like, The Witcher 2 is a great game, and I really enjoyed it, but it didn't do what The Witcher 3 did. The Witcher 3 was absolutely incredible, and like you said, Jim, it came out in a bad state and also got fixed, and then by the time I played it in 2018, it was absolutely
I played it late too, so
got like the 1X patch and all that stuff, and it ran amazingly, and the DLC was cheap and massive and really like high quality single player stuff. It didn't have microtransactions, but like the fact that they came out and put a new, one of those bloody yellow banners out saying like, hey gamers, we're sorry that we fucked you, essentially.
Yeah.
I think that is almost like, it's almost a kick in the guts for them to do it that way. I don't know, like, how else do you do it? But like, you're right, they can talk a big game, but like, they knew there's no way of them going, oh, we should have paid more attention to those console ports. But like,
they know, right?
You have testers. Why else would you not show it? Like, you're dirty. That's dirty.
They know. They knew. They knew that $90 game. They knew it was a shit game, and they still let people buy it. And I think like that's driven by revenue, and they like every games company is that. And I rate every game. I love gaming. That's why I'm here right now. But I think the problem is like they had this other reputation. They had this like, no, we're not like the rest of them. Like, check us out. We're the good guys, right? And like they're not. They're not. It's all a fucking charade. And I know I'm a bit salty on it. I don't care. I actually like the game, like you say, Kat. It's like, we love the game, but I think it's more about like the way that people
things you don't like.
Right. Like, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I would give that game an 8 out of 10, and I reckon it's got the potential to become like a 9.5 out of 10. So it's great, but I feel bad. My mate bought the PS4 version, and he's like, he messaged me.
So bad for PS4.
I feel really bad for him. He's like, "Are you enjoying it and stuff?" And I'm like, "I am, dude. How are you getting on with it?" And he's like, look, it's buggy, but I still like it." And I'm like, "Why are you saying he still likes it when it's not? It's not a good game." And I think he loves CDPR. Like, he's like, "Oh, I love The Witcher. I love this game as well." And there's stuff to like. I haven't actually played it on the PS4. I don't know if either of you have played it on last gen console.
I wouldn't try.
I've got a bit of a story about that, which is just wholly ironic and really annoying. So I've been playing it on the Series X, and it's great. It runs well. It's still buggy, but it's a sensational game, and it looks good, and I'm super stoked with it. I've had glitches, but I haven't had anything like a crash. One single time I haven't had it crash, which is great. Which is, what we should just expect anyway, instead of it, crashing all the time. But I tried to play it on my Cyberpunk 1X that I bought in July, that was meant to, come out, just before the game came out.
Came with the game.
It came with the game, and I loaded it up. And the loading screens, loading takes so much longer, for one thing. It just took ages compared to the Series X. Get into the game, walked about 5 steps forward, and the game crashed. And so I was like, okay, let's try it again. Got into the game again, went into my menus, messed around. I was like changing my loadout, and then thinking, all right, cool, we're looking good. Ran 5 steps forward, and the game crashed again. The third time, it literally got to the game and just instantly crashed. And then the fourth time I loaded it up, I was like, well, I'll run the other way this time, just in case it's like that spot's wigging out or something. No. About a minute later, I got a phone call and the game crashed entirely. And I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm not even going to bother. And it's like, that is such fucking bullshit. Like, if I didn't have a Series X, I would be livid. Absolutely livid that I've bought this piece of merchandise from CD Projekt Red. It's you know, it's a 1X and it's got Cyberpunk, you know, decals all over it, and it doesn't even run the fucking game that came.
It does run the game for 5 steps.
For 5 steps. Like, I can sit in my menu for
What's wrong with
hours.
you, dude? Don't you know
moderated gaming?
These are the fucking good guys. How dare you say? How dare you say that something that CDPR released is shit? How fucking dare? How very dare you?
Shit, I think
that machine.
Jim's going into cyber psychosis.
Oh, I tell you what, man. Delete this podcast immediately because that is blasphemy. You got to kiss their ass as much as possible to stay online.
Also, like, the shit about like crunch and stuff is even a harder pill to swallow now because of how the game.
What were they crunching?
Like, yeah.
What were they crunching? Bags of chips?
Well, they
were
the game was meant to
They're
release.
crunching the game. They're making it worse.
the disc.
They were meant to release this game in April. Like,
imagine.
What? And when they delayed it in April, they were like, "It's playable. It's playable. We just want to polish it." And it's like, man, that game in April. It like I don't even know how broken. Yeah, what did they polish again? The PC version.
Yeah,
you know, you can't polish a turd. That's what they say. But I don't believe this is a turd. I think the thing with Crunch is interesting. Crunch is really interesting because, like, I was listening to a podcast yesterday about Crunch and about how companies kind of portray Crunch as this like nightmare scenario where we sleep in the studio and like everyone's like really stressed out. But like, I also on the other side of it. They talked about how it's the most fun and creative time for a company to make the best bits of a game. Like the magic happens in Crunch. So I think that was like really interesting, and I've never thought about it that way. You only hear developers talking about Crunch being like the nightmare time. Yeah, but you know, I don't know if you guys know this. Like my current favorite game was developed specifically without Crunch. It's Hades. So the developers, they said like, we want to make this game, and there's going to be no Crunch. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's not the same thing. They have unlimited
holidays. So,
yeah, like they've got some
mandated holidays because no one would take the unlimited holidays because they felt bad about it.
How cool is that, right? And I think like that can only work in certain companies and for certain areas of the industry. And Hades is a much smaller game, and like we can't really compare the technical difficulties that have like plagued Cyberpunk. But at the same time, like maybe Crunch isn't the answer to getting a game out if your game's supposed to be out in April and you still fucked it up in December.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not a game developer, and I'm only speaking from like podcast knowledge, which is nothing, right? But
that's not every day.
I don't know. Exactly. That's straight off the top of my podcast dome.
They just shouldn't have given a date at any point. Like they said, it was be ready when it's ready. Like they shouldn't have given a date. They gave a date like a year out or so. Like they should have just not. Don't until you're really certain. Like you fucked it.
Yeah. The date was the thing that fucked it out. But can we talk about things I do like again in the game? Because you guys talked about this last week. I want to talk about more things I do like.
I would love to talk about stuff we like because I love this game. It's sick. No ifs, ands, or buts. It sucks the situation it's in, but fucking hell, I am so hooked on this game.
I'm frothing.
Frothing hard.
What percentages are you in, if you know? Or what level you at? You know, just something to give us an idea.
Yeah, and where are you at in the story, Jim? Because I don't want us to do too much.
As you can see, let me tell you a little bit of backstory. I haven't played much of it. You see these goggles, Kat?
Yeah.
These are brand new. Day 2. I've had real problems. I've had eye problems. So, and it's like about like, I've had like a double vision thing going on. So this fixes it, but it's meant that I haven't been able to spend much time in Cyberpunk. So I think I'm only 6 hours in.
Oof.
I've driven around a lot. I've tried to experience the world a lot. but I'm not far into, like, I'm not 40 hours. I haven't done a complete playthrough or anything like that. So take my opinion with a pinch of salt. However, the things I do like are, it's not as, this sounds weird, it's not as horny as I thought it was going to be.
I don't know. It's more horny than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
It must get more horny.
I think for me, it's about the horniness I expected, but
I expected constant horniness.
Dildos everywhere.
There are dildos everywhere.
Actually, there are. That's true.
Just trying to enjoy my time, and then suddenly, I'm just hearing these moans from an ad on the side. Like, I turn the corner, there's a shop called PP, and like someone's legs are spread real wide. Like,
okay, it's pretty horny. I take it back.
But I mean,
no, you're right. There is stuff like that. I think I expected you to be more naked all the time. They're walking around and like naked, like there's going to be naked chicks, there's going to be naked dudes, everyone's going to be naked. Like, there's less of that. There's less like sex scenes. Like, I think even less than The Witcher from what I see so far.
Well, maybe you'll get there's more. There's
but they are
more.
horny. CDP are horny, which is like kind of why. It's crunch, baby. Everyone got to get horny and crunch. But But yeah, I guess that, like, and I'm saying I like that, but I think maybe the story is way more nuanced, and the voice acting is like, oh, so good. Voice acting is really cool. I'm playing as a male V. I haven't done the female stuff yet, which I hear is really good.
Femme.
Yeah,
Femme V.
She's awesome.
She's really good.
So, story-wise, have you finished the heist? Like, have you finished Act 1?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Are you finished the interlude?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah, because you said you played as Johnny, so yeah, that makes sense.
I am, I'm at the bit where I'm trying to find Evelyn. I haven't found Evelyn yet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mad.
Very
so
cool.
I'm trying to find Evelyn, and I've met Judy. Judy's an awesome character.
Love
She's
Judy.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's what, like, you can tell there's going to be more there. That's going to be really cool. I really like Jackie. I don't want to say too much for people listening and watching the podcast. Really awesome character though. I
think
who else?
That's all in trailers as well.
Well, true.
Is it?
That kind of all plays out in trailers. I think, spoiler-wise, it's probably going to be, because of where you are up to, it's probably going to be similar to last week. So anyone listening, if you haven't finished Act 1, be wary of spoilers, because,
it's just going to happen.
There's some major stuff that happens in that heist that it's like, you can't really talk around. So,
yeah.
But like you say, Kat, a lot of that was shown in trailers, which is an interesting way to market it now I've played more. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I still think it's funny. I think I'm probably 30-something hours in. It seems like that opening act is like the missions are way more involved than a lot of the rest of the game, and that's not not against the rest of the game, but it feels like there isn't another heist. There isn't another situation where, like, that I've seen so far, that you have as many options for, like, the Militech mission where you go to get the robot. Like, that had so many branching paths and ways that that could go down. I haven't had that so much since then.
I agree.
A lot of set pieces and stuff, but
there's been a couple of points where I've been like, oh, I don't know, like, who I want to side with at this point, sort of thing. But it's been a lot more, I would say, like a black and white choice than that mission for Militech. Like, that's really the prologue bit. This is why they should have just kept working on it, because that's like one of my gripes. Like, that starting section, and then you do the 6 months like speed through with Jackie.
That was cool. That was cool. Yeah,
like,
that was cool though.
I wish I could play it.
Yeah,
like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Cool montage,
like, wouldn't it be so cool to actually, like, develop that connection before you go forward, as opposed to being like, okay, we're best friends.
Yeah, it was
Moving
cool,
on.
and he was so likable, like, such a likable dude, and he's like, you know, I was hoping the whole time there, like, oh, he's gonna pull through, and like, we're all good, but like, then when you look back at the cool little montage, it's like, man, all that cool Jackie stuff, I wanted to know more about it. And like, it's so quick, you don't see any of it, like, it's kind of like, you can't process it. So it's like, that was a cool way of kind of telling the story, though. Like, they picked
really awesome.
It looked so cool. Yeah, I really like that.
It was really cool, but it would have been so nice to have lived it and have it be more impactful.
Yeah, that's fair. Definitely agree with that. I guess like there's one thing I get with many games like this, and I haven't hit it properly yet, but I think it's the same with Grand Theft Auto, the same with Fallout, the same with like Borderlands, like shooter RPGs. I think the first time you get dropped in the world, like after the kind of the handholdy opening section, that every game's got it, and like there's a make or break moment where it's like I'm in the world on my own, and I've got to work out what I'm gonna do, and I need to decide what I'm gonna do. And is that going to be fun, or is it going to be really shit? Is it going to be boring and painful? And I think there was one moment in Cyberpunk which sort of annoyed me. I walked out of the apartment block and I opened my map, and I didn't even know which key it was. I was trying to find the map on my keyboard and finding M. Obviously, it's M. And then I looked at the mini map and I was like, "What the fuck is going?" Like, it's just crazy. Like the actual map, sorry, not the mini map. It's like there's so much there. I'm like, what? I feel like I need a little bit more hand holding to get me around this world. I just walk out onto the street and there's like missions all over the map, and I'm like, some of them are like, I've got to join this fight club now. I've walked past the dude with the fighting robot, and I'm like, what? Is that the mission, or do I have to like? Do you know what I mean? There was no like, this is still. If you want to continue on with the main story, the red dots are what you follow. If you want to follow some side quests, it's the yellow dots. I just felt a bit lost for a second, but not in a good way. Yeah, I felt a bit lost.
I agree. I think when you get a bit further, the mission structure in your journal separates it into like main jobs, which is the main quests, your side jobs, gigs and stuff like that. But some of the side jobs are like a one-time thing, and some of the side jobs are like a 7-step quest. Like, and it's a long story. I wish they would break that up a bit more. And I learnt today there are timed quests, and they don't really fucking tell you that you can fail that shit.
Oh, what? There are?
Wow.
Yeah, there are. I didn't realize. I just went and did it straight away, and then I looked into it, and I was like, actually, you can fail this if you don't get to that quest within 24 hours, which is so easy to just miss. Like, you could just absolutely just be like, oh, I'm already mid-quest, so I'm not going to answer this call and just divert and go straight there.
That's crazy. Because, you know, like, a lot of the quests feel like they should be right. Like, somebody calls you, like, we're out of blah, 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 we need your help.
Yeah.
Like they feel like they should be timed. Yeah, but like you can go whenever. It's like, I'll be there in 4 days. Like, they feel like they should all be like timed quests.
That's exactly.
And then you turn up and it's still going on. Yeah, like everything.
Have I fucked some other stuff that I haven't even realized? I didn't
Maybe they've just disappeared.
Yeah, and they've just gone from my quest roster now, and I'm like, don't have to do that. Guess that worked out. Like, whatever.
That's kind of cool, but it would be nice if it told you, like, you have to get here within 24 hours. Because, like, what if you just, like, I think you won't get a phone call until you've finished a mission, for one thing. You won't get a phone call for another mission while you're on a mission. Like, once you've accepted the mission. Nah, you have?
Yeah. No, I've been mid-mission, like, I'm crouched behind someone, about to get them, and I get a phone call, and it interrupts me being able to stealth take them down. They turn around and shoot me, fucks my mission. Like,
to hear your phone ringing. Like,
like, what are you doing, man?
I get that Metal Gear Solid sound up.
Yeah, like, so definitely, like, can screw you over. I think, potentially, like, they wouldn't give you an important mission then, but, like, I get random calls all the time, and it's just...
I get random calls all the time, especially to sell me shit, and, like, for people that I've never met. People that I've never met.
Yeah, when you go into someone's area, like, if you go from Watson and you go out into...
That makes sense.
Haywood, you'll get a call from the fixer, and the fixer will then call you about jobs. But you don't really know that until you look into the database and look at fixers, and it's like, when you go into their area, they'll call you. It's like, okay. And it kind of makes sense. The fact that you always get a phone call about a car or a message about a car, it's like, I don't have the money for this. The car's like $1 million.
Yeah, I've bought one bike.
I haven't bought anything. I've got 2 bikes and a car, but I've gotten the 2 bikes for free.
Yeah, I have 3 bikes, 2 I got for free. I was like,
I'm too loyal. I'm too loyal to Jackie. I'll never give up Jackie's bike.
Absolutely.
I'm just like, that's my boy's bike. That's a family heirloom.
Yeah,
I'm never getting off that thing.
Also, I really like how the bikes handle. They're just easier to maneuver.
The better cars.
Yeah,
fuck the
really
cars.
fun.
Cars are annoying to drive. Like if you drove a car like with these, like because I'm playing keyboard and mouse, I'm like, whoa, I want to drive my car, drag my mouse and steer. Like it just doesn't feel like driving.
It also sucks because like the mini map doesn't zoom out when you're driving, so you just go straight past your turn, and you're like, fuck.
That's why bikes are better because you can just slam on the handbrake and turn around.
Yeah. You kind of turn sideways. That's cool. When the bike turns sideways, that is cool. I like that. Is there a third person view in on a bike?
Yeah.
Because I'm in the first person on the.
It chops my head off, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just that Cyberpunk, baby. That's what we.
I don't need my head.
Don't you disrespect those developers.
GDPR are absolute gentlemen. I will not hear a bad word against them.
The keyboard and mouse thing is interesting that you say that, Jim, because something CDPR released. Maybe it's in the details about the game or something. It's like suggested that you play on a controller even on PC because of the way.
Okay.
Yeah, so just so you know, you're probably not doing yourself any favors.
Just have a controller next to you for when you get in the car.
Just for driving, yeah.
This thing's sitting here the whole time, and I could have been having a way better time. God damn it!
Fuck.
This thing's really. Can I tell you about this controller? Actually,
Yeah.
Please.
Did I tell you about it last time? Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's a genuine Sony one.
Oh,
Do you know what
it
it is?
genuine.
Have you customized it?
No, I haven't. It came like this in the box.
Oh, and it's actually genuinely Sony.
It's genuinely Sony. It came like this in the box. It's the real look. Check it out. It's even got the little Sony crap on the back. What do you think this controller? It's funny. So I'm going to tell you, this controller sells for it sells for $400 now. If you've got like a box new one, obviously this is not worth that because it's open and used.
Grime on it.
Yeah, you can see my thumb grime. But what do you think it is? Like, if I made you if you had to decide what like this represented to save your life, what would you say?
It's the
Mass
police.
Effect. Paragon Renegade.
Nah. It is Darth Vader edition.
Oh!
Can you see there's a little Star Wars?
Oh yeah, I can see it.
I think it's his chest plate.
Oh.
I think it's the buttons on his chest plate. You know that? Because when my wife was talking, and I love it, but it's the least Darth Vader looking thing
That's the shit.
I've ever seen.
It looks like a full off-brand.
Yeah, it's a collector's item. So good.
That's awesome.
Anyway, I should be playing my Cyberpunk on my Vader PS4 controller.
Yeah.
Clearly.
What? I was going to say something about missions, but I have no idea. It's okay.
Cool.
Moving on.
Man. Yeah.
Kat, tell me about your time in Night City.
I just want to talk about the things I'm disappointed in.
You are a natural born whinger, Kat. That's why we love you.
I want to change my hair. I want to get tattoos.
Yes.
You have hair shit in The Witcher. You've done it before. That's bullshit. That's just trash.
What hair did you choose, by the way?
I chose just this side shaved green hair. But I wanted to change it throughout the game. I was like, I want to get that the two buns with the big fringe, and like I just wanted to change it around. You have it in your other game, like. Bruh.
So I'm going to show you how I'm going to not scroll down so you can't see.
Oh, no,
I think I got quite close to me. And I got cool tattoos, but I'm kind of like, I went tried to make myself, right? You can see the Ranger beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make the Ranger beard. You can do the same hair. Nearly too low. Same cool tattoos. And I'm like, yeah, like it would be so cool to like, hey, I want to get more tattoos now that I'm
That's
like.
what I want to do!
Yeah.
Stuff bugs me, man. I hate that there's like shops everywhere that don't have just like 3 things that you can buy. Like, cute man. Why don't all the street vendors just have like pizza or some shit? Like, why can't I buy something from all these shops? I went out into the Badlands today, and as I'm driving on the road in front of me, there's tons and tons of taillights and headlights in the other direction to show like gridlock traffic, and as you drive towards it, it just deletes itself, so there's all this traffic in front of you, but it's not actually there. And like just these little things
weird.
Pissing me off. The romance options pissing me off. Like, I'm mad about that shit. That man I wanted to romance is the 3 people I picked that I want to romance are not options. Like
spewing.
No, I don't know much about the romance options yet, but I do know that they exist. What's the what's the go with them? Are they beneficial or are they just for fun or what?
I don't know if they're beneficial. Like, there's you can you can play around with the Joy Toys, and there's a couple of characters that you like, the Militech lady that you can meet up with, and then there's some.
I banged her in the No-Tell Motel.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then there's some characters that you can have a relationship with, but you have to complete their quests right and say the right things to them.
What about Judy? Is she one?
For females only.
If you're a female.
Knew I should have played as a female.
Do you know how many there are?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's 4. There's only 4
What,
in the whole game.
Relationship options, or just like?
What about
partners?
the old Japanese guy? Is he one? The guy that gets murdered?
No!
Damn it, Saburo!
What?
He was my number 1 pick.
He had like
Him, Judy.
What are they called? Olive.
Jackie's
Spots?
motorbike.
Whatever they're called.
Jackie's motorbike, yeah. Like,
Jackie's motorbike.
Jackie's motorbike is my number 1 pick for romance.
There's 4
Been with me the whole
relationships.
game.
I think there's I think there was like maybe 3 people, like the Militech lady, and the rest are Joy Toys. That's it.
Yeah, right.
So,
Like, what?
Okay.
Like, what is that? They made romance out to be this big thing. I wanted to romance Victor Vector or Takamura. Not allowed.
To be fair, like
Yeah, Takamura's cute.
Yeah. And the other one, the girl that I wanted to romance, she's straight, so it's out of the question.
oh damn,
It's not fair.
come on,
Yeah,
it's
it's
2077.
Everybody should be bi. The whole thing of the game is everybody should be bi.
Why not? Like, what's this about? Why not everyone be bi or pan? Like, what does it matter?
Yeah, or like you're so charming because you built up your charm. You can turn people. So
Like, cool is 20.
Like, yeah.
Like, I can't be cool.
cool is 20. You are now straight all day, depending on what you were before you met.
Exactly. Like, I'm the coolest person in that city, bro. Like, what more could
I've
you want?
maxed my cool. Come on.
But yeah, that just really bothers me. Like, I feel like they have all these features that they've had in previous, like in The Witcher, and also these features that they talked up that they just didn't deliver on or didn't even try, or like they just gave you the bare minimum, and that is like, why? The city seems so empty in some ways.
Do you think there's just too much? They've just done too much. I've heard that. Like, people have, like, they've done so many things, none of them are actually, like, perfect. And I think that's probably one of the main arguments I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that they just needed to pare back or just give themselves more time to actually do the things that they said they were going to do properly.
Yeah.
Just like Star Citizen.
Like in The Witcher, you can have romantic, flings with a couple of characters, but it's really only 2 characters that you can actually have, like, you can choose between.
Yeah.
It's very, like, binary. Like, it's one or the other. Like, if you choose Triss, you can't be with Yennefer. And if you choose Yennefer, like, Triss leaves. So it's like...
Yeah.
I know I would like for there to be more, because in something like Mass Effect, there's, like, romantic options with every crew member on your ship.
Something about Dragon Age, bro. Like...
Dragon Age has, depending on... sexual orientation, there's like romantic options with every single person. But yeah, 4 doesn't seem like that many. And you're right about like the empty.
I've only met 2 of them too. I haven't even met the other ones. Like, and
you've only rode one bike as well.
Yeah, like
Jackie's bike.
But like, there's a if you're male, you get a straight option and a gay option, and if you're female, you get a straight and a gay, and that's it. Like, I just think that's whack. Like, that's whack.
Yeah, I agree. Considering it's 2077, when they're like, you'd expect everyone just to be like going at it bananas. This is the free world. This is cyberpunk. Everyone, this is like debauchery in this world, right? Like, do whatever you want kind of thing. It's like, well, actually, no, straight or gay.
Yeah, straight or gay, and not with everybody.
Pick one as well. You can't change. You've got to pick one.
Don't mind that dildo store. Just ignore it.
That's for straight people only.
It's weird. It just weirds me out. Like,
it's not good.
And like, I'm sad that they took away some of the features that initially were going to be there, like the spider bot and stuff like that. Like, I wonder what this game would have looked like as they actually imagined it.
Yeah, but if they actually did double crunch. Can I ask you a question? What about the hacking in the game? How do you feel about that? because I think I've got a feeling about it, and I want to know what you guys think.
I love fucking chipping in. No, I love jacking in and doing the puzzle ones where like you gotta try and get the 3 lines in your buffer size, but my buffer's not quite big enough to always get the all 3 lines.
All 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah,
I really
like that, and getting like free money and components and shit.
Yeah.
And I do like a couple of the hack options, but I only use the same ones over and over and over.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's it. And then I go loud.
I got some new ones, and I really like it. It's a little... I don't know if it's simple is the right word, but I use it literally constantly. Like, I'll walk into a room and I'll disable all the cameras and I'll like distract enemies, and then I've got one where it like shuts down their body so they can't move, and I'll take them and I'll put them in a bin. I've got overheat and like synapse burnout, which like takes them out.
Yeah.
And
I want the grenade popping one. I haven't found that yet.
what does it like? Put a grenade in them or something? Like,
Yeah, they showed it in like the gameplay and stuff where if someone has a grenade, you just set
Oh yeah, you can pull the pin on their grenade or whatever.
yeah, and so you can like call them over to each other and then just blow them up with their own grenades. And I haven't been able to find that yet, and I want that one.
well, I didn't even
that sounds like a
realize.
good one.
I didn't even realize like I had picked up extra like
Goodies.
quick hacks, and so I went into my inventory for it, and I was like, oh wait, I've got new ones here, and they were either upgraded versions of the ones I already had or more. And because I bought like a purple cyber deck, I've got like 4 options plus ping. Oh yeah, I've got ping as well, which I always use to kind of find out where all the enemies are.
Where my boy's at.
And that kind of stuff really reminds me of like Deus Ex, and I love Deus Ex. Like, I love that game.
So you know there where you said about you pick stuff up and you didn't realize you'd done it? That is so Fallout to me.
Yeah.
That is like, you're wandering around the world with like a fucking amazing gun in your pack. Like, you're really struggling. Like, oh my god, every battle is so like...
Every day.
Meanwhile, you, like, about 3 hours ago, you picked up the most powerful weapon in the game, or like some amazing piece of armor. That is so Fallout. Like, you don't feel like you don't know what you've got. Almost just like, I'll grab all this crap.
So much shit. And so much
you're picking up shit.
Junk. Like,
yeah,
and you can just sell junk, can't you? It's like, I'll sell all my junk, and then you don't even know what it's not.
Uncraft it like into components.
Yeah, I think that's so like it feels a bit like if you picked up if you were V in the world of Cyberpunk in Night City, and you picked up a sick addition to your neural optic setup or something, you'd know, right? And it would tell you, and you'd be like, I'm going to install this immediately. Yeah, that's just a little bit of like that feels old. Like, it feels like an old game where you just pick up everything, then you look at your inventory to see what you picked up. It's almost like you scratch everything, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they kind of just run around going like, take.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, oh, that one was purple. And then I'll look at it half an hour later. Like,
I mean, you could even have like just like an automated thing where like if gear is this amount better, then she goes, oh, sick, and like pulls it out and has a look at it, and then puts it in a pocket, sort of thing.
Or like, you know how like when you look at a weapon, you can just collect or equip.
Yeah,
like it could almost be that. Like, like I know I always just pick it up and I'm like, where the fuck did that go? But like it should be an equip option, right? Like I like that. It's like it should pop up and say, hey, this is superior.
I mean,
hardware.
It does tell
you
to be fair. It does have like the description of the product, like, of the item, and it's got the green arrow if it's better.
Like when you
DPS.
look at it, like you mean when you're looking at it?
Yeah, when you're
like,
looking
or do you mean when you go to your inventory?
Yeah. Both. Like when you look at it, it'll come up with what it is.
I just never look at it though.
I never do either. I'm just
saying.
But is that like a game design problem, or is that just like we've played that many RPGs that it's like take all? Like if I see a chest,
have something that like triggers and is like, whoa, like check out this good shit you got, as opposed to being like you just picked up 17 packs of cards.
17 packs of junk. This does sound suspiciously like you're defending CDPR, Elliot, and I've just got to remind you, this is a SmackDown podcast.
Sorry, this is
not a defense of, not in defense.
Look,
no, you're right.
I like this game so much. Like, I know you guys are having a really great time complaining, but holy shit, like I love this fucking game.
I got something really, really to the side. How good are the fucking radio stations, bro? Like, I love the radio stations. So good.
The Run the Jewels song is so good. I love Run the Jewels. That particular song that they wrote for the game is baller. I love that song.
My favorite is the Shoot the Sun song. I fucking love that song. I don't know why.
I don't know what he's. I don't know if I know it. Sing it.
No. They played it in one of their Night City Wires ages ago, but I just fucking love it. I love listening to like Night FM or Body Heat. There's a bunch.
Yeah,
Body Heat's cool. Just some weird shit on it.
Yeah.
I also
They're so good.
I was like, I picked up some dude and he's got like a grenade in his face. I don't know if you picked up that guy. Ozob. Did you pick up him? Anyway, he's got a grenade in his face. And I think the radio station changed as part of the story. Like, I'm driving around with him in my car, and then, like, the radio station is the creator of Cyberpunk, like, Mike Pondsmith, talking about, like, this clown gang and stuff. And it's, like, it's kind of referring to him. And I'm like, that's so sick, because it's, like, the dude who created the original tabletop game going into all this lore, but he's talking about the character I'm literally driving around with in my car. That's cool. It's like so cleverly done.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I really like moments of like creativity like that. I don't know. I know it was based on a tabletop game, and it's like a role-playing game, I imagine. Yeah. But I don't know much about the actual game itself. Is it very close to the premise, or is it that they changed it a bit?
Well, I think they've created their own premise, but things like the perk trees are based on how you would level up in the game, and the tiger claws and stuff are all reused ideas and things like that.
Yeah,
it's Cyberpunk 2020 as well, so it's like it's got Johnny Silverhand and
oh, cool! That's cool.
And Johnny mentions 2020 throughout the game.
Yeah. So it's like very like it's like The Witcher. Like they did real homage to the source material, but went their own way with some things as well.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun. It would be fun to experience it, especially after playing the video game and being able to see like, oh my god, this is like this character they're talking about, and like obviously Arasaka and Militech and Trauma Team and Max Tack and all these things are still in it. Like they're all from the original game. So but you know, it's 57 years later.
And you know, I guess like I didn't know that, and it's actually added another layer of enjoyment to the game for me. And you know, before I mentioned kind of like I felt a bit overwhelmed when I first got into the world. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, like this is hectic. I think like I almost admired the way that like I think there's a bit in the intro kind of bit where you're with Jackie and they talk about Trauma Team and they're just like, oh, she's got Trauma Team or whatever, and it's like at the time I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means, and then eventually you work out that's like kind of like a private medical company that like get you. But like I kind of liked how they were just like, oh, that's the story. Like you can see they're called Trauma Team. They come and collect injured people. They don't tell you like there's no bit of Jackie saying Trauma Team with the premier blood, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's a big boy storytelling mode that you're in, and you've got to be kind of comfortable with that. I just wish that when you go into the world, it kind of jumped into the map and it's like, hey, this is what your mission's going to look like. I don't need to know the depth of the story. I just need to know what you expect me to do to get the most out of the map and the game.
I just wish that they had a bit of different icons. Main missions have the same icons as side gigs, which has the same as like just gigs, which has the same icon as buying a car. Like
it's red. It's all red.
Got all these different blue icons, and they have all different shapes. And shit. Yeah, and then like there's a skull one, there's a club one, there's this and that and whatever, and then you've just got all these yellow exclamation marks, which is like everything else. Like the whole map's peppered, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. What?
What I was going to say
oh my lord.
Before, I remembered now that you mentioned that, Jim, is when I kind of experienced that same thing, I walked out of the building, or I went and got my car, and like you immediately get crashed into, and like my car was fucked.
So good. Have you done those quests? They're
Not
so
all
good.
of them yet. I've done I think 5 of them, but I was like, okay, I don't have a car now, so I just got in the elevator, went to the ground floor, and just walked, and I just kind of didn't track a mission, and I just walked around, and then I kind of, I don't know, like organically found missions, or was kind of just like, well, I have to walk around. I can't fast travel because I haven't explored enough to unlock fast travel yet, like, because you have to be in that place to unlock that spot. So I just like started trekking around, running through the city and like looking at the map and then going, okay, so this is a Ripper Dock, or this is a assault, and just kind of exploring there. But you're right, it does like it lets go of your hand and just goes like, here, have a fucking entire city to play in.
Yeah.
Someone just dropped you in the middle of Sydney and is like, go.
Well, it's almost more than that, because it's not just a city. It's like it's a world of like completely new stuff. It's alien. Like there's different language being used. There's different stuff being done. It's not like Red Dead Redemption, where it's like, I know what a fucking gun is. I know what a horse is.
Yeah.
They're talking about like stuff that like have no point of reference. I don't know what the hell that, like, what's a Ripper Dock? Like, we've got to go find the Ripper Dock, and I'm like, I can't wait to find out what this thing is, because is it a person? Is it a car? Like, there's a lot of language in there that it's like, fuck me, like it's overwhelmingly like dense with new ideas. And if you're gonna give somebody that many new ideas, a little bit of hand-holding to give us a bit of idea, and it'll be there. It'll be there. You jump into the lore, you read up a little bit in the it's not the inventory screen. There's a bit where you can check. Like, and you can kind of find
so many shards though. I've got way too many. How am I ever gonna read all of those? Like,
You're not.
But that's
you don't
like,
play a
that's
game to
like
read.
RPGs, right? Like all games are like that. Like The Witcher 3 is just
like,
riddled with the bestiary, and like
I know.
you have like in The Witcher 3, to be fair, like you have to use the bestiary to learn how to defeat monsters.
Yeah.
Kill them.
But in this, if you really want to, if you want to go into the database, or if you want to go into the shards, you can learn so much. But like there is a lot of reading, a lot of fucking reading.
But can I say, a counterpoint to that, at least it's not Control. Fuck me, that game for reading, you just spend your entire
I think I just blocked that out of my
document.
And they're all
which
like,
I love, to be fair. Control's not my favorite game.
You're right, though. That is just like, you find documents upon documents upon documents. You could do that.
Control isn't an RPG.
Yeah, true. Sorry, Kat?
I just want to like hack my shards, because you know some of them you can hack. And I spent so long just going like, you know, I think it's square or X on console, and then down, X down, X down, X down, opening all of them to see which ones I could hack. It took so long because I have so many shards, and like I could hack one of them. It was such a waste of my time.
I must have just gone to the bottom
3
of the
hours
list
later.
and be like, question mark one. Okay, I can hack this. And then I was like, I'm not searching for all of these.
You're like, I'm done.
Too many. You're right, though. It is like, they don't fuck around with like the terminology and like the idioms and stuff that like aren't in our vocabulary. Like, I don't know, like gonk, or, I mean, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Or like when you're learning about brain dance and like virtues, and like they're like BDs and like I'm scrolling BDs, or I'm scrolling virtues. Is like, what the
you're just like, I don't know what that means. I'm just trying to control this character with a keyboard and mouse right now, and you're dropping this shit on me. It's insanity. But it's like, it's good. It sounds like a complaint. It's not a complaint, but it's like, you got to commit to understand what you're doing. You're not running around gunning shit. It's not holding your hand. It's a proper game. It's a proper game.
Also, if you kill like any randoms, the cops are just there, and there's like drones everywhere, and it's like, oh god, shit.
Yeah. It's not Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, so long as you like hit them while you're on a bike, if you just keep going, you'll never see them. It's
you
fine.
Get away from it. Yeah, you're fine. That's my method.
I have maybe a controversial opinion, but I think, sadly, Johnny is the worst voiced character in the game.
Wow.
You know what?
He's
she's right. She's right. He's just not a voice actor.
Yeah. He's like,
he's just not a voice actor.
It's very
like,
stilted
fuck.
performance.
And he's just looking at you in the eye, and he's like, get up.
Yeah. We got to do this the hard way.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay, Keanu. Like, he's not a voice actor, right? Like, I think the best voice actors can portray, like, they'll say it and then the animators will make the character do it, but Keanu's just like, I talk into this microphone and you'll make my character do the thing I say?
Yeah,
like it's very like that.
he did mocap and stuff, so like you'd feel like he could be more into it, like he's acting, but some of the stuff just feels so like stale. What are you doing, dude? It's
I'm with
whack.
you.
Yeah, I got that a bit. I don't know. Sometimes he's like so good though. Like there's some bits that he just like, especially in the side missions. I find like he'll just pop up and have like some interesting conversation with V. But you're right. His delivery is like, I don't know. It's the way
his
he
delivery
like
in the main missions is the worst bit. The side missions, that's good.
Yeah.
I think I want to be the biggest hypocrite of all time right now and say, after everything I said about giving CDPR all this benefit of the doubt and them not being the good guys and you can't let them off because they've done a bad thing, I actually believe Keanu is that he can be let off no matter what he does.
Yeah, he can get let off.
He is allowed to be let off. Like it's Keanu. Like he deserves it. If anybody in the world can be let off for a shit performance, it's him. So we gotta give him some slack.
Like, I mean, his character is such a whingy white boy. Like, it's so funny. But today he wished me like a good night's sleep as I was going to bed in the story, and I was like, "It's so sweet of you." Oh my god!
Such a sweet terrorist.
Yeah. So I forgive him. You know.
Yeah, he's way more like his backstory is way more fucked up than I expected. Like when they were kind of saying he's like, I don't know, like an anarchist and stuff. They never really explained like he's an actual terrorist that blew up Arasaka headquarters with a fucking nuke.
Yeah.
Like,
he murdered
killed,
many thousands of people.
14,000 people instantly.
Yeah, 14,000. Yeah.
Plus, like the fallout of it, and like that is fucked up. Oh, okay. Tash asked me a good question that I couldn't answer. Why did they like transfer his psyche?
I imagine that they did it to like torture him. That's
how I took it. They were like, he wanted to be a martyr, but they kind of stopped the martyrdom by keeping him alive, like trapped in this kind of.
Yeah, they
can
help him for eternity.
Before he was put in V's head, was he even like aware?
Well, I don't know where you're up to, but there's a part in the game where he says that it's like there's no sense of time. Like he knows that time passed, but he couldn't track it. But also another character said that this is just one of his engrams. You know, that Johnny is elsewhere, and you've just got one of him, and they've had many other chips of him. So yeah. That's in the main story. You're at the same part as me. Have you not seen that?
I'm not. You just spoiled it majorly for me. No. Don't worry.
I don't remember that being said, though.
I mean, that's literally all they say. They go no further into it. Like,
sure they mean like there's more relics of him, or there's just other engrams of other people? Because there are like that's a thing they can do.
No, when you're in the hotel room, they're like, "This isn't the first Johnny. Like, this is just the one that you've got," sort of thing.
To be fair, it was probably
sounds like a spoiler cut
when I was playing that. Yeah, spoilers. Yeah. Jeez, you just ruined
spoiler
the game
cat
for Jim.
situation. You guys can follow her at spoilercat at twitter.com.
Yep.
I guess there was one spoiler that somebody dropped on me, and I'm going to kind of imply the same thing because they didn't give me the full story, but I was asking somebody that had completed the game a couple of days ago. I asked him, I don't know what's going to happen with this story. Like, who's going to prevail? Is it going to be V or is it going to be Johnny? And he was like, well, that's the thing, isn't it? There's a lot of choice in this game. And I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll say here.
So I've got a feeling.
No, you go.
Depending on how many side quests you do, changes the ending apparently. Like,
yeah, it can get a good ending and a bad ending.
I think.
And I was like, so what I actually said was, I was like, if you get the good ending, I imagine V lives, right? And he's like, well, depends, doesn't it? Like, what's good? By the end of the game, what you think is good at the start, it might not necessarily be what you think is good by the end of it. And I thought that was really interesting because you can see that, like, by bringing Johnny back, like, in my head, and this is complete speculation because I haven't gotten anywhere into the game yet, by bringing Johnny back, can you re-bring about this anarchist revolution that he wanted to do? And will you get into the cause of that? Is that part of it? And like I'm excited to explore that stuff because I think that whole the world is fucked thing, which it clearly is, and people are living like in shitholes. Like, do we need a revolution? And did he do the right thing by blowing up that building in the beginning? And will he continue that quest if you allow him to take over your body and you become Johnny? That'd be cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but say no more because I think that's into spoiler territory.
Yeah, and I think that's even, past where Kat and I are in the game as well. So that's like
we're at like exactly the same spot. Which is our chance.
I think it's what's cool about it. Like I think is like, and they said this before release. With The Witcher, it really was like you're saving the world. Like you're saving everything. You're going around like and saving all the country's problems, and then you're like stopping the wild hunt. It was like high stakes.
You're a hero.
Yeah. In this, like it's not about the world. Like the world goes on without V. It's about V. It's everything about this game is just V's story. And I like that, but I also am conflicted because I'm like I love like the hero's journey. Like idea, like something like Mass Effect, where like you're just like some commander, and then next minute you're brought into this like galaxy saving, like job, for the next 3 games. But I think it's cool that they went with such a kind of personal story because like if V was to die, that world isn't going to stop around him, and like you say, there might be more high stakes when it comes to like the ending and what that like precipitates like for Johnny or V, being kind of the one in control. But it is very like it's a personal thing. Like no one gives a shit about V essentially, like in that world. Which is interesting, but conflicting as well because I love that real cliche hero story.
Yeah, me too. I really like that stuff. Like you can. It's escapism, the hero's journey thing, and what you're not getting much escapism in Cyberpunk because really you could step out of your front door and go on an individual journey, right? But I think a lot of people will kind of love the idea of being able to do what you could normally do in real life, but like enhanced by 10. And it's all neon, and I can go and like do this crazy stuff with hookers and stuff that I would never do in real life. Like this is crazy. Releasing the boundaries of your life, which is kind of what some people really enjoy in these games. But I think I'm with you when you say that the hero's journey is always really cool because you start out, you go through a challenge and you overcome the challenge, and you come to another challenge, you overcome that challenge. There isn't much of that sort of thing in a regular life journey.
Very true. Very true. Should we have a quick look at this article before we wrap up? Because it has been 1 hour. This game is really easy to talk about. IGN posted an article.
Whinge about.
IGN Australia? Don't know. Cyberpunk 2077 dev promised refunds it couldn't actually guarantee. And essentially... it seems like there's no like kind of special arrangement with either PlayStation or Xbox. So PlayStation have been refusing a lot of refunds because it's not part of their policy. All of them, if they've started
apart
the
from
game.
in Australia.
Yeah, except in Australia, because we get good consumer
we have
laws.
consumer law.
So people are having to go to the website, and it's a bit of a mess. Jim,
it's obviously a bit disingenuous to say the least because they jumped on that call. I can't remember what they called it. They had like a little name for their investor call. Investor call. And they said, hey, don't worry, like we get it, like it's going to be ready by February. Like, so people are like, what the fuck do you mean? Why is it not ready already? And but if you're still unhappy with it, don't you worry. You just go out there and you go to Sony, go to Microsoft, and you'll get your refund. And they even put like an email address in the press release that said it was like refund support at CDPR or something. And it's like they're just like, people are like, hey, I can't get a refund. They said no, and they're like, I don't really know what to do right now because we said it. We didn't have any backing of it.
No, such an empty promise.
It's a
control what they refund. Like
this is
again, it's like them not being good guys.
This is worse than canvas fucking bags from Fallout 76. Way
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. You know what you should do, Elliot? You should walk in. You should go to Poland after coronavirus. You should take that little Xbox of yours with all the stickers on it, the Cyberpunk stickers. You should walk into the front doors of CDPR and you should say to them, guys, I want my fucking money back. And see what they say. And if they give you some, I don't know what currency they use in Poland. I'm going to say the euro. And if they don't give you a little bag full of euros, you've been screwed by the good guys.
By the good guys.
There needs to be a canvas bag full of euros as well.
With a big dollar
canvas
sign
bag.
on it. I got my canvas bag. I'll have you know, I got my canvas bag because we bought that fucking edition. And we requested the bloody canvas bag. I got it. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you what, CD Projekt Red won't be giving me a refund. It's very pretty.
Yeah, do you reckon they will give people something? Like, do you reckon there'll be a gifting goodwill scheme that comes out of this?
They're going to have to. They can't just say that and then not do it. Like, and not do anything. That is such bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what they could do.
I don't either. I guess, like, maybe this is the opportunity. If they watch this podcast, this is our opportunity to say what we want.
Marcin.
So, cash.
Adam.
Cash is fine. We take cash. Steam codes for really good games.
Let's just give out Witcher 3.
Games.
Yeah.
I'll take Hades.
Hades.
I'll take Hades.
Here's a Gwent pack. Enjoy.
A crunch, one get out of crunch free card.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. They're like, I'll work your job for one day for you.
Yeah, but no crunch.
No
crunch here. Regular 9 to 5, no crunch hours. Yeah, look, I think that the whole idea behind them trying to get out of it is hopefully Sony and Microsoft go along with this because we really fucked up, and they didn't, and they're like, oh man, this is balls. Although to be fair, come on, Sony, give some refunds out. You've made so much money out of this game. Chuck some people some refunds. They're unhappy. They're consumers. They should be allowed their money back. But I would also say that if they're true to their word, to end on a positive note, if CDPR are true to their word and they do get that game fixed up, it's probably worth holding on to, right? I think at the end of the day, it's worth holding on to that initial disc. And if you can get a little cool, maybe they'll send you a code that gets you some sweet in-game swag or some unlockables that only people that own the game on day one get. It might be worth keeping hold of. And I think that's probably where I would go if I was CDPR. I would say, let's give the people who wanted a refund but couldn't get one some really cool in-game stuff via code that is really going to make their experience with it, it's going to fix their experience with the game.
Yeah, yes and no. Sorry, Kat. No, you go.
I was going to say, I think it can be really hard to do, code stuff that's so... you wouldn't want to isolate part of your audience that did manage to get their refund or that did wait until the game was finished. And then to really make up for it, it would have to be something so good that then everyone else would be super sad about not getting that stuff as well. And it's also I don't know what they could do. They could give you a cash injection so you could go and buy a bunch of cars or something, but
And
it probably would have to be cash.
The bloody Fallout 76 thing, it was they were like, oh, we'll give you in-game money, and it's yeah, but that doesn't have a real-world value to people, and they can give you all the cool swag that they can come up with, but if someone can't play it because they've got it on PlayStation 4 and it doesn't fucking run, they don't want that. They want their fucking money back, and
yeah,
I absolutely get that. It's such a shitty place for them to have gotten themselves into. This is not oh, this sucks for them. This is shitty. They should have. It's such a fucked up situation. I saw this conspiracy theory. Because
I saw this theory that they pushed it back so far, so that people would buy the new consoles and no one would buy it on the old consoles anymore, and they would know shit.
They should have pushed it back so far that the old consoles no longer were compatible with modern TVs. So, like, remember when you used to have a console and it was like you couldn't plug it in anymore because it needs like an RCA? Like, they just needed to wait long enough to be able to, so people couldn't plug their, like, HDMI is gone now. We just use like some sort of Sony like iLink, some sort of thing. That's what they should have done
in 2077. Then it'd be perfect. It'd come out.
Yeah, they should have released it on that.
It would be a period piece. Like, it would be fine.
But people would be like, "Oh, it's nothing like we expected it to be. It's way blockier and textures are way lower resolution."
They just shouldn't have.
It should have been.
They should have.
It should have been next gen and PC only. Like, but the fact that they hyped it up, the fact that they revealed it in 2012, and then showed trailers in 2018. They should never have said the consoles that it was coming out on. No. They should have communicated with
fancy console.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah, they should have done a Series X with the bloody the Cyberpunk stuff on it. That'd be sick. They should have communicated with Microsoft and Sony to make this a next gen launch title. Like, that would almost entirely undo everything they did here, because like it runs pretty great. Like, it's still buggy. They should absolutely fix that shit. But to release a launch window game of this caliber, like, people would have bought PlayStations and Xboxes if they can get them just to play Cyberpunk. Like, but the fact that they were like, it was meant to come out in April and they'd already advertised it and they'd already started taking pre-orders, like, nah, you fucked yourselves. Like, you absolutely have screwed yourself, because you could have made this like, this is the next gen launch game. This is what you need to play it on. And people would be absolutely clamoring for it because they can't get a fucking next gen console. And that would have been so good. It would have still been buggy. People would have still complained, but it wouldn't be this absolute like tearing down of this company that have done a lot to create goodwill, but have proven that they are just like every other.
To shreds.
Yeah, there's a reason why, like, yeah, exactly. Like, they're worth more than Ubisoft. That's because they're just like Ubisoft. Like, they're not a special company that, you know, they may be like, we're in with the gamers, and, you know, we'll give
you a free art book.
Yeah, we give yellow jackets to influencers, and they fucking shill our game, and like. Fuck yeah,
dude,
I was absolutely hyped for this.
I'm going.
I was just as bad when we got a free t-shirt, so...
Yeah.
I do love a free t-shirt. I would take a free t-shirt and be happy. I'd be like, cool, all is forgiven, 10 out of 10 game. Perfect.
No, give me that reversible fucking jacket, and then we'll talk. CD.
Yeah,
then everybody, there's so many people bought the fucking game, everyone will be rocking around in that jacket, and it would be so shit. But, oh no.
You got that jacket too.
Yeah, true. Oh my god, you also were conned into buying a half-made game. Yeah, but I think all in all, it's been really good discussing it. I feel like I've exercised my demons on this game right now. I feel like I can go back to it and look at it through a fresh lens.
I'm literally about to export this and play more of it.
These lenses here. These are my CD. They've got a little heart filter in now for everything I look at when I boot up Cyberpunk. A heart comes onto these lenses, and I see the logo for CD Projekt Red, and a little love hearts come off it. I'm back in love.
Beautiful.
I give the game 8.5.
I'm gonna do this.
Nice.
This is a symbolic gesture to fuck you, CD Projekt Red.
Oh,
lights out.
Just turn it off.
Oh, no.
So good.
All right, guys.
Your CD Projekt Red.
I'll turn my fucking light off.
Lights
Fuck
out,
you.
bitches. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me and talking smack about CD Projekt Red for an hour. That was super fun. So
it was.
Jim, I know last time you were on, you spoke about something you want to do. It's obviously been a busy few months at work, but tell the people about yourself and where they can find you, and if if you're on social media.
Yeah, look, you can find me on social media at mainly my Instagram, which is incredibly funny. You should look at it. Lots of good comedy content on there, and it's not that funny, but it's at real_good_Jimmy, real good Jimmy. But the main thing that we're probably going to be working on soon is with Luke, who you've had on the podcast before. We're going to be working on our own podcast. We're going to be looking at Steam turds. We're looking at some of those hidden turds on Steam that, maybe even some CD Projekt Red games down the line.
2077.
But certainly a turd, certainly available on Steam, but maybe not one of the first ones. We'll have some fun with it. We're going to look at some games. We're going to kind of look at things that people may have missed, and maybe some real hidden gems that may be buried in turd, but we need to just extract some of that, some of that content, like in Jurassic Park, where he digs into the Triceratops turd.
Yeah.
Just like that. Actually, no, I don't think he finds any good stuff in there. Anyway, that's a bad analogy. What I will say is listen to the podcast. It'll be available in the next 2 months. We're still working on that one. Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity to shill something that doesn't exist. Like CD Projekt Red did.
What? Brought it back in.
It all comes together.
And Kat, tell us what you got going on.
Well, you can find me, as always, on Twitch at CapCatty.
Nope.
Or also... No, actually, it just said CapCat on Twitch. But on Twitter at CapCatty.
Okay.
The end.
Nice.
That's it. That's all I got going on.
Oh, cool.
Beautiful. You can find me on Twitter at Direckt Gaming. I'm going on holidays as of tomorrow. We're still going to try and do the podcast every week. It's going to be maybe a bit clunky the first week while I work out how to even do it from an iPhone, but we'll get there. And it'll be in a random Airbnb. But it's going to be awesome.
Nice.
Hopefully we're doing a bit of a collab with some friends as well for like a bit of a Game of the Year discussion. So keep an eye on that. And if you're listening to this, check out the video version at youtube.com/directgaming. And if you're watching the video version, thank you. Like and subscribe to the channel. And check out the audio version at anchor.fm/directgaming or on your favorite podcast platforms, and leave a review or rating on your platform of choice. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been wonderful. Enjoy your evenings. I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching, peeps. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, brothers.